everything. Hi, my name is Pujitha, and I'm from India, but I've lived in Michigan for nearly my whole life. I grew up as a happy and energetic kid, always wanting to run around and play. But towards the end of June, before 8th grade started in 2015, I started throwing up. We thought it was food poisoning, but then the left side of my face started to droop, and my balance got worse too. My pediatrician thought it was Bell's palsy, and so did a few dentists. So in the end, I got prescribed steroids for Bell's palsy. However, nothing stopped. My morning sickness and imbalance didn't improve. Despite what I was going through, I pushed myself every morning and kept going to school. I just told myself I was fine. Until a family friend, who was a neurologist, suggested that I have an MRI after my mom shared what was going on. The MRI revealed tumors on either hearing nerve. I remember them pulling us into a room and slowly explaining what they found, and I was overwhelmed. The big words were enough to scare me and make me cry. On the same day, I was referred and taken to Children's Hospital for an emergency surgery. There they debulked the left tumor because it was the largest, and it was pressing against my brainstem. That's when the gradual hearing loss in my left ear became complete hearing loss. Then after my surgery, I had a lot of complications, so I had to stay in the hospital for around a month. Doctors and therapists were always in my room trying to get me back up on my feet, so that was fun. With my parents' support, I held on to my positivity and tried to live as normal as I could. Though Avastin for about 2.5 years proved to disrupt my life in many ways. And now that I look back at it, I was also fighting many monsters inside without telling anyone. In the last few months of those years, though, my dose of Avastin was doubled, and that started affecting my kidneys. Eventually, I was taken off of Avastin and given a break. But after that break, I went on and off a few medications, such as Lepidolid and everolimus, but nothing seemed to help the tumors, and the side effects weren't fun at all. From my experiences, my passion for science and ancient medicine only grew. I started researching and writing about them extensively in high school. I even used them to help manage my symptoms from medications and NF2. They helped a lot, especially in combination with medical interventions. Eventually, the day I had been dreading came in 2020. Which was the year I graduated high school. I stopped all my medications because the tumors grew big enough to be really dangerous. So after 3 debulking procedures in April of that year, I became fully deaf. And I also experienced a lot of trauma due to complications and communication issues. I felt isolated and sad until the music therapist reintroduced me to music through vibrations. I found my coping mechanism again, and with the help of my parents and little sister, I got through it. I was finally sent home in July after a lot of therapy. But then, after a few more months, my surgeon used a gamma knife on my right tumor. Soon after that, we found out that my left tumor had grown again, so it was too big to radiate on. In December 2020, I had another debulking surgery, and then we waited for me to heal up and get better. But then my tumor had a growth spurt. So I had another surgery in May 2021 for the left tumor. And then I had radiation in September 2021. I thought everything would be fine after that, and I would be going to college without all of the trouble. And it went okay until I started having hip and back pain. After some confusion, I had a spinal scan in 2023. That scan was being neglected for a long time because everything always seemed stable over there. But anyways, that scan revealed more tumors, and the one causing pain was big, and it was pressing on a nerve. So they immediately removed it in April of that year. I have more tumors on my spine, but all we can do is watch and wait. I moved hospitals once I was back on my feet, but I was dealing with a new problem. I needed a scalp reconstruction, and that was a very long process. But it was worth it because I'm not in pain from hardware sticking out. And though we have no tumor samples, my current medical team got me started on brigatinib in the summer of 2024. Since then, I've been dealing with fatigue and myalgia, but I have some good news too. My vestibular schwannomatosis have stopped growing. And on top of that, I also got a flicker of movement here around December 2024. However, it didn't last that long. Now 23, almost 24, I'm hopeful about gene therapy. But beyond that, I want to give hope to myself and others too. NF2 isn't only a physical battle, it's also a mental one, and it's something I'm going through constantly, but I won't give up.